evening, everybody. Good night, or no, good evening, I think is what you say when you say hello.
Talking Dirty
with Maestro.
Not just numbers,
Not just stats.
it's about what they mean.
I'm going to send to you the information.
Talking Dirty.
Hello, and welcome to Talkin Durty with your boy. Me. Hopefully everybody's having a good holiday. And let's talk about some surprises that we've gotten so far in this early young season. And one is SimWorld Europe, a team that I think surprised a few people. I doubt if people inside the locker room were surprised. Coach Kostov has his team playing at a level that I believe very few teams and very few pundits thought they could really be at so far. Let's talk about what that means. For them, it's more about the when than the what. When they have made their moves in the games that they did not win by nearly double digits, it was how they turned attention to defense, forcing turnovers, ball movement at the end of the games, which shows a discipline that does not go unnoticed. A team that is in the top 5 in assists, in steals, field goal percentage, opponents' points per game, opponents' 3-point percentage per game, and forced turnovers. That tells you all you need to know about the intensity with which they play every possession, and every possession counts. We've had this conversation before. You guys know how I feel about this. You guys know I'm always making a point of saying, listen, here's the deal. You can play however you want to play, but it has to be with intention all the way through. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself in a position that is going to be quite unfavorable. Let's talk about how SimWorld Europe is able to do that. Nearly everyone, with maybe one exception or two exceptions, are contributing in every aspect of the game, not to coach. And in that contribution, what we're seeing is a consistent style of play that includes not only great ball movement, but great rotation and great help. And you do not get that way without communication on the floor. And communication does not always mean I'm calling ball, I'm calling man, I'm calling this, I'm calling that, I'm calling help side. It means when you work together, you learn your teammates' tactics, you learn how they move, you learn how they go about doing what they do, and then you act upon that accordingly, knowing their strengths, knowing their weaknesses. That also means knowing yours, knowing what you can do when you can do. And certainly SimWorld Europe has done that. Well done. On the ultimate side, I would be surprised if this not. I'd be surprised. I would be very surprised if this does not get better, only because of how this team has shown growth so far, and what they've been able to do, and when they've been able to do it. Well, if I were looking at the team, just the numbers alone and contribution, the only thing I would ask is I will look for more rebounds out of their 7-2 center, Andrei Ivanov. I think he has a significant enough presence that he is able to be on point more at the rim. And Zodorn, the fact that he's nearly pulling down 10 rebounds a game, showing you the will and the position that he puts himself in to take advantage of that, his physicality. I like to see him turn more of those offensive rebounds into points. I think those contributions alone, just from those two players, we can get into a couple more, but those two players just contributing in one other facet of their game, I think would raise the stakes for where this team is. And that should be scary to everyone else who's paying attention to what's going on. Way to go, SimWorld Europe. Appreciate what you're doing, Coach. Keep it going. Keep it moving. We got your back 100%. Can't wait to see you grow even more. You, everybody else, you know what's up. Catch me Wednesday.
Thank you for listening to the Maestro. Want to get involved? Bring it.
Drop in discord.gg/SimWorld Hoops.
If you have the brain, join as a coach. If you have the game,
join as a player.
see the game, be the
the
game. Now, back to the Maestro.
Sorry. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back. And welcome to the second half of Talking Dirty with your boy. Love talking about SimWorld Europe. Love talking about what they're able to do. And let's talk about some ways that you can maybe make this happen. I want to talk about passing the leverage. Some of the things that I've said over the last couple of pods, even in a couple of the calls of games. What separate good passes from great passes and great passes from amazing passes is how you pass to the defender. Yes, I just said that. How you pass to the defender. And here's what that means. Let's go to our favorite spot on the floor. Again, I'm just going to keep reference this because I think it's easier for you guys to kind of put it in your head. Facing the basket, left-hand side. My man's in the post trying to get position. And I'm up flare wing, which means I'm basically just maybe around the three-point line trying to give space. My man's in the mid post. And he's doing a straight post up. There's nobody to my immediate left. There's nobody on that side of the floor. Maybe we're working weak side in terms of strength. I pass the ball out in his reach. Obvious move, correct? So I'm passing it away from the paint to my man's reach. I might then flash toward the basket. He gets it. He can tip it back to me if I make that happen. If not, he can step out. He can make his move. But let's say it's a crowded paint. And how do we talk about moving through the paint again? Eyes on the ball. Hands up calling for it. Letting your teammate know you're ready for the ball. You're looking for it to come your way. Well, super easy. If I see a crowded floor, I read the eyes of the defender. If they're looking at him and not looking at me, I pass it away from their eye line. In other words, to the back of their head. Why do I do that? My man is going to see it coming, can react faster. I make a hard pass. Can't go soft if you do this. It's got to be a hard pass. You got to trust your man to react. Make a hard pass to the back of the head because the other person has to turn, physically turn. All this takes time, no matter how athletic they might be. They have to physically turn to make that happen. If I pass it hard enough, the ball is going to be there. Yes, it's a pinhole spot, but that's the kind of pass that separates the good from the greats. Same thing goes if I see my guy making a cut, even to a high post area. I want to give them a good mid-range shot. I see them making a cut. I see the defender only guarding them, not paying attention. I don't throw it to where their position is taking them, where their leverage is. I throw it behind them. Behind the head. And I keep saying that. So this is why I'm saying that. And here's why I keep saying it all over again. When you do that, that defender have to reset their entire physical position in order to make a move on the ball. And when you pass it fast enough, unless they're the Flash or the Hulk, they're not going to be quick enough to do that. Your teammate will see the ball coming, can make a move on the ball and receive the ball. And then guess what they have? We'll talk about creating leverage here in another pod. But if I receive the ball to the back of my defender's head, I can do one or two things. I can make a flash step to that same spot where the ball just came from. In other words, to their back pocket. If they move to react, as they move, I then cut the other way. As they make that turn to try to react to that, on my flash step at the very least, I then cut to the left. I've already won the battle. They just don't even know it yet. I'll autograph a poster for them. That's how you use the leverage of the passing to work with you. So again, you want to make a pass in a tight post. Just because you look like you see a pinhole, if you see the pinhole, it's too late. Great passers create the pinhole. I'm looking at the eyes of the defender on my man. I see where they're looking. If I see my man in position, I pass it to the back side of that defender. My man reacts to it. Boom, right down in the post. Bring it up, choose violence. Hopefully that little tips help you with passing. Hopefully that gives you a better idea of what I'm talking about when I say skirt pass or a shoulder pass to the weak side. I'm talking about the weak side of the defender in this particular case. Hopefully that helps you out, gives you something else to work on, something else to look at. Hopefully help your game get better. Who do you think some of the better interior passers are that you've seen? And I don't mean the guys that always throw in the alley oop. No. I'm talking about the players you've seen who are able to pass through traffic and able to get the defense off leverage by their passing. And I'll tell you one of the better players that I've ever seen. If you go back and YouTube Becky Hammond's, YouTube her days in the WNBA, specifically with the Connecticut Sun, she is probably one of the most underrated passers in being able to make a defense have to physically turn. And she had a teammate that was equally as deadly, and that was Nikisha Sales. Both of those ladies were able to move the ball in a fashion. And irony of watching them work together, you would see first before they were Connecticut Sun, they were the Orlando Miracle, I believe. And they moved up to Connecticut to play in the Casino and Mohegan Sun. But you watch those two players work, you see what great passing can do to make sure that a team is always, and I do mean always, off balance. So who are some of your favorite interior passers? Go on and split them up, chop them up with us, all right? Have a little fun with that. Hopefully your holidays are awesome. Hopefully everything is really cool. And no matter whatever you do, just remember, if you do not think that You've Got Mail is a horror movie, we can't be friends.
Like, I need to talk to somebody.
Thank you for listening to Maestro.
Thank you again for checking out Maestro. Drop a tag below and give us a piece of your mind. See you next time.
Well, thank you for your time. Have a wonderful day.